Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. Today's video is going to be about an absolutely beautiful custom knife, the Scandi bushcraft knife from Justifier knives. Frank Delalla, hope I'm pronouncing that right, Frank, over at Justifier Knives was kind enough to not only send me this so I could show it to you, but he actually made this one specifically for Survival on Purpose. And it is absolutely gorgeous, Frank. Before we get this thing dirty, because we're going to get it dirty, we're going to take a look at the specs on this thing real quickly, show you some close-ups, because it's just, it is really, really beautiful work. And then we'll get to doing some of that knife stuff. Okay, once again, this is the Scandi bush knife from Justifier Knives. This knife features a 4.5-inch drop point blade of 3/16 inch thick A2 tool steel with a Scandi grind. This one has a custom burlap micarta handle scales with really pretty mosaic pins. Comes with a really nice Kydex Dangler sheath and a matching ferro cerium rod. I gotta tell you, this thing is just absolutely slick. I mean, it is, and by that I mean it's just there's no roughness to it whatsoever. The fit and finish on this knife is 100% perfect. You can't feel the seam between the micarta and the steel, the A2 steel, and it's got a big thick 3/16 inch spine that seems to be very sharp. Got a Scandi grind. You know, it's got a little lanyard hole here with a slightly exposed pommel that you can beat on stuff with without messing up your micarta. Altogether, you know, I'm doing the Chris Tanner squeeze test, and I don't really get any painful areas there. It's just a very slight palm swell here, a little bit of a swell down this way, and just a slight flare at the end. But no jimping, which I like. I'm not a big fan of jimping, to be honest with you. A little bit of a kind of like a finger guard hump there, but not really much. And just, that's the knife. Okay, I'm kind of fondling it. I'm sorry. Then it also comes, at least this one came with a really nice Dangler sheath. It's Kydex, and it's got the nylon webbing to kind of give you a little more flexibility there where it hangs. And kind of a, let me show you the retention on this thing. It snaps in really good, and I mean, maybe I could sling it out that way, but I don't know. But nice little thumb push right here on the sheath. Comes out really well. Do it with one hand, just see if I can do it. Yep. So great retention, but and then nice little added touch is the matching ferro rod here with the same micarta handle on it, and with a little bit of a shock cord on it already, which is nice. And I noticed that it's kind of a unique method. Instead of a double loop, he just curls it over, and the Kydex works fine like that. It fits in here great. See, it's got a drain hole on the front and back completely through. I like that. I like the fact that it's all put together with screws, so you can tighten them or whatever, and you can move this thing around if you really don't like it, or maybe you want to put a tech lock or something else on it. You can probably do that too. Don't know if the holes are spaced right or not. Really cool little fancy kind of mosaic pins instead of just a piece of brass. Just the attention to detail on this knife, the point is just very, very high. And I looked at this grind. This grind is extremely even. Sometimes on a handmade knife, you get a little bit of a I guess variableness on the grind and the evenness and stuff. This thing is absolutely really, really, really. I mean, if you can see that, you can see it down here. You can look. I always look at it right here, and then you can look at the tip up here and see the grind there. Now, this being 3/16, my first impression honestly was, I thought maybe this Scandi grind is a little bit steep. Well, if you've seen Ben with Living Survival's review of a very similar knife, it was just different colored, it worked great for him, so we're about to find out how well it works for me. Frank said he was doing that on purpose. He was trying a little bit steeper Scandi grind to improve the edge durability and strength of the edge, which makes perfect sense to me. So Well, let's quit rambling and start doing some knife stuff. Okay, first of all, kind of do like a standard kind of test. Try a paper cutting test. That just seems to be a good test. I don't really cut paper a lot with my knife, but it is a good test of how sharp a knife is. Okay, so even with the okay, even with the steepness of the grind, it seems to do pretty dadgum good on some paper. Now let's see how it does on some real stuff. Okay, so got a piece of pretty hard something here. I'm going to do some cross batoning because I think cross batoning does a much better job of testing the strength of a knife than splitting wood. Anything will split. This is actually having to cut like an axe more. Okay, so we got that. Now let's split this thing down a little bit here. See if we can get us some firewood going. All right, let's see if we can get some feathers out of this. Wow. Okay, well, Frank told me just to give it a shot before I made a judgment on the steepness of the grind. And I gotta say, gotta give him credit. He was absolutely on the money about that. It's just a great, great job. Let's see if we can carve out a few more little tiny ones for you here. Okay, Frank, you were right. Well, now let's just see how well this little puppy does with the included fire steel. Okay, so that was a little bit of knife stuff with it. It did a pretty good job of batoning. Surprisingly good job of doing feather sticks. I told Frank I was a little concerned about the steepness of the grind. No worries there. It actually did excellent job. So far this thing has passed every test with flying colors, and just one left to do. I saved my favorite test for last, so this time. So let's see how well this thing's balanced. How about that? Okay, well, that was the Scandal bush knife. Okay, once again, thanks to Frank Delalla over at Justifier Knives. Again, he made this knife custom for Survival on Purpose channel. I'm sure he can make you a custom one for whatever you like. He is taking orders now. I believe it is justifierknives.com. I'll put a link below. Handmade knives, excellent quality, excellent fit and finish, excellent functionality, and superb balance. Justifier Knives. I hope this has been helpful. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up, for sharing it with your friends, for watching those ads, and thank you so much for shopping on Amazon through my links. It really helps the channel, and I sincerely appreciate it. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.